Few thoughts on the Pakistan team. I think they approached the tournament with a combination of promise and vulnerability. They've let a lot of the senior players go. They've put a lot of faith in some youngsters who play a far more modern game, go about and play with a lot of freedom. I don't know if they played with the same level of consistency or the same level of fearlessness that they need to. They've got a new captain, a player that I've rated, but who's little iffy. But they go to a place where traditionally they've played very well. They go and play in the UAE. So there's a fair bit of promise about them. There's a little bit of vulnerability that'll come through this blog from time to time as well. But lots of changes to this Pakistan team that you've seen before. And right at the top are two players who haven't got a game since Mike Hesson moved in there as the head coach. So if you're looking at it from an Indian perspective from outside, you're suddenly saying, oops, no Babar Azam, no Mohammad Rizwan. Are you losing a certain amount of solidity? But you know what? I've been looking at numbers for Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan, and this is what the numbers are telling me. During his prime, Babar Azam was 39.8 average, striking at 129. That's gone up to 135 post the World Cup of 22. We've taken that as a cutoff because he was playing at his peak then. The average has dropped to 34. But Rizwan is the interesting one. 47, 125. He's since then gone on to 43, 121. Now you look at those two numbers. If you have a very high batting average with a low strike rate, the opposition is egging you on, saying, bat on a little longer, bat on a little longer. You keep making 70 of 58, 60 balls. Well done. Thank you very much. We couldn't have asked for more. So what Pakistan have done is they've realized that what Babar and Rizwan were doing was giving them a lot of strong individual numbers, but they were not winning enough games in the manner in which those two were playing. 150, 160, fantastic. The moment Pakistan had to play 180 plus, they were in trouble. And if you look in the recent past at what strike rates teams have achieved, and I understand it could be a factor of the conditions in which they're playing, that could influence that. But if you look at what Australia are doing, what India are doing, what England and South Africa are doing, and see where Pakistan are just scoring it up at 7.5 and over, that leave the bowlers very little to do. Even someone like Salman Agha, since he's become captain, I mean, a lot of you have heard me talk up Salman Agha, but since he's become captain, don't know if it's weighing on him. It just doesn't seem the same place. So there's a whole lot of free-stroking youngsters who've come in an attempt to become a more modern side. So who are these youngsters? Sam Ayub, we've been talking about Sam Ayub for a long time now. Fearless, breathtaking, inconsistent. But he adds overs at the top too. So if Sam Ayub gets a little more consistent, that makes a difference. There's a lot of promise in Sahibzada Farhan. He's made the dramatic entry into T20 internationals. But can he keep going like that? So Sam Ayub, they've got Hassan Nawaz who can go and play at any number. Salman Agha himself. Just going down that list, they've put a bit of faith in Hussain Talat and in Mohammad Haris, the wicketkeeper, as a replacement for Rizwan. So there's 6 young players in that batting. And effectively, what the selectors are saying, effectively what Mike Hesson is saying is, I'm going to back you because you go and play the modern way. And then they've gone back to Mohammad Nawaz. If you remember, they tried Imad Wasim briefly, brought him out of retirement. That didn't work at all. So they've gone back to Mohammad Nawaz. So that is, there's a promise, as I said at the start, but there's a lot of vulnerability to this. And they've won, 9 matches out of the last 22. I'm just trying to see who they won those matches against. Bangladesh 3 at home, Zimbabwe 2, West Indies 2. That's 7 out of 9 have come from there. Now you think of Pakistan and you think of bowling. And you think in their prime, bowling beautifully. It's difficult to find a better troika than Shaheen Shah Afridi, Naseem Shah, and Aris Rauf. But if you look at what's happened to Shaheen Afridi in recent times, the strike rate has diminished a little bit. You don't worry too much about the economy rate. It's there, but Shaheen Afridi is not there to deliver economy rates. He's there to drag the match your way in the first 2, sometimes 3 overs that he bowls. So with Shaheen Afridi, you always look at strike rate. How frequently is he taking wickets? Don't worry too much about economy rate. As indeed with Aris Rauf, you want him taking wickets. So he's giving you wickets, but is he being consistent enough with the one player that if I was a Pakistan fan, I'd be very, very disappointed, dismayed by is the fact that they seem to be losing Naseem Shah. He's going playing in the CPL. He's not in this squad. I don't know if that's that they're trying to manage his workload, but then he won't be playing the CPL. What a bull. If you're going to lose Naseem Shah, what is it telling you about the system? So as I said, I'm looking at it from the outside, and I hope that there's lots more to the fact that Naseem Shah is not here. So as a result, they've had to go and look at a couple of other people. They looked at Mohammad Wasim. When I look at Mohammad Wasim, I've looked at in the past, I've again seen a bowler. I thought, oh, wow, he looks a good bowler. He can hit the ball a long way, but the numbers are not justifying that. And they've gone back to Hassan Ali. When you go back to sort of early 130s, mid 130s bowler, it tells you're scraping the barrel a little bit, which worries me if I'm a Pakistan fan. But now here's something that they could be positive about. What are the conditions in the UAE going to be like? Are you playing 180, 200 games? India would love to play 200 games, for example. Or are you playing slightly slowish, sluggish surfaces? Because for my generation, is a strange thing to say. This is a very, very spin-heavy Pakistan side. They've picked three. Sufyan Muqim, I'm really looking forward to watching him. Abrar Ahmed, and they've gone back to Nawaz. But look who else they've got. There's Khushdil, he can bowl. Saim Ayub bowls a lot. Salman Agha is a proper spinner. There's all kinds of slow bowling options there. But in order to get that additional seam option, they've gone back to Fahim Ashraf. Those spinners have given them 60 wickets from the last 22 games at a very decent economy rate. Abrar can be a little expensive, but otherwise at a very decent economy rate. And that'll be a strength for them. Because they're a little worried about the inconsistency of this batting side, they've gone back to Fakhar Zaman. I mean, you never let go of him, but they've gone back to him. He seems to be a player in a different avatar these days. Earlier, he used to be go bang bang. Now, for a long time now, I'll play myself in and I'll see what has happened. That strike rate should be much higher for a player of his skill. So that is where they are. Funnily, a 160, 170 game would suit Pakistan much better. I think they're very vulnerable with a 200, 210 game. Be interesting to see if the ball is coming on or the wickets are slow and sluggish. So it'll be interesting to see. But if I'm a Pakistan fan, and I've said that a couple of times in this, I'm a little worried about where this tournament is going, but I'm also very happy at the grouping. You might say, yes, you have to play India in, that's box office, so you just adjust that so that it always happens. But I think in the other group, with Bangladesh, with Afghanistan, with Sri Lanka, I think Pakistan were a little more vulnerable. They look at this and say, the box office wants India versus Pakistan, but as a result, Pakistan is in the better group.
So thank you for watching and do subscribe to this channel.